All right, there, everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and we are right about to get started with tonight's replay game of the 1979 Mets. Mets are 52-105, and they're facing the Cubs. This is Game 3. For the Mets visiting Wrigley, it's going to be Taveras at shortstop, Elliot Maddox in center field, Lee Mazzilli at first base. Cleanup is Richie Hebner, the third baseman. Batting fifth is Joe Youngblood in left field. Ron Hodges, the catcher, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Dan Norman, the right fielder. Kelvin Chapman at second base, at the batting eighth. And then batting ninth is Kevin Coble on the mound for the Mets tonight. And for the Cubs, Miguel Delaunay in center field and Steve Dillard at second base. Batting third is Billy Buckner. The first baseman. Batting cleanup is Dave Kingman in left field. Mike Vail in right field, batting fifth. Batting sixth is Steve Davis at third base. Batting seventh is Kim. So expect the Mets to run on Kim tonight. The catcher, batting seventh. And batting eighth is Mick Kelleher, the shortstop. And it's Bill Caudill batting ninth and on the mound. And Caudill was 1-7 with a 4.80 ERA. So let's see if the Mets can capitalize. Here goes, payoff pitch. You read the 2 6-sided die, then you read the black and then the white. So it'll be an 8. You add the 2 6-sided die. It'll be 8 off the pitcher's card. That's patient. And a 72. You read the black first. A patient 72, and that's going to be a fly ball center field. 1 out. Miguel Delaunay makes the catch. So Frankie Taveras is out. Elliot Maddox. That's a tough 39, and that's a line drive base hit for Elliot Maddox. So he's on at first. Lee Mazzilli. And that's an 8. That's patient, a patient 79 on Mazzilli's card. And that's a fly to center, out number 2. Oh, hit ground ball there by accident. We got, I believe, 6 more games. With this one, 6 more games. After this one, 5 more games. Richie Hebner, left-handed batter. That's an 11. That's ballpark, 88. So that's going to be in play on Hebner's card. And that's an 82. That's going to be an easy out. That's going to be popped up. And it's going to be Steve Dillard under it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. Kevin Coble on the mound. Now, Coble was 6-8 with a 3.51 ERA and 27 games started. He's facing Miguel Delaunay. He's a switch hitter. 5. Ballpark 42. Ballpark 42. And that's going to be for a batter batting. Oh, he's batting. Okay. So pitcher's lefty. So I gotta memorize that. So he's going to be batting right-handed right here. So we're going to roll. It's going to be wheelhouse from Miguel Delaunay, and it's an 85. That's going to be an out. Ground ball shortstop. Frankie Taveras fires the first. Oh, gets Delaunay by half a step. He flies down that line. That's a 3. Tough. A tough 70 against a lefty, and that's going to be an out. It's going to be grounded to second. Kelvin Chapman, excuse me, makes the play. Bill Buckner. That's 7. That's a tough 96. Tough 96, and that's a fly to right. Danny Norman puts it away, retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. Top of the second, no score. Youngblood Hodges Norman. 6 tough. A tough 58. And that's against a righty. That's going to be a fly ball to right. Mike Vail in right field tonight for the Cubs. Makes the catch. Ron Hodges, that's a 6. A tough 28, and that's a strikeout. And Dan Norman. That's a tough 0-6, and that's strike 3. Back-to-back Ks. 1-2-3 inning for Caudle. Kevin Coble. Going to be facing Kingman, Vale, and Davis. That's a 9. That's in play 82. And that's a ground ball shortstop, Frank Taveras. Throws him out. Mike Vail. That's in play 20. And that's going to be a ground ball up the middle and through into center field for a single. First hit for the Cubs. Mike Vail's on at first. Next to Steve Davis. That's a 6. That's a 6 in play 42, and that's fly ball right. 2 out, and it's Bruce Kim. Patient 92. And that's going to be a fly to left. Youngblood. And that retires the side. Go to top of the third, no score. Bill Caudle against Kelvin Chapman, second baseman. That's a tough pitch, 42. It's going to be strike 3. So Caudle struck out his last 3 batters. Kevin Coble now. He's a 9-pitcher hitting card. That's a 7. That's wheelhouse, a wheelhouse 22. And that's going to be a ball that gets through the infield into the outfield for a base hit. So Coble gets a hit. And it's Frank Taveras. That's a 6. That's a tough 45. Tough 45 is going to be a hit. We're going to read off the card here. It says grounder up the middle into center field. Runner advances 1 base. So first and second with 1 out. And it's Elliot Maddox. Maddox is 1 for 1. Here's a pitch from Caudle. 5, patient 27. Patient 27, that's going to be a walk. All 4 bases are loaded for Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli is batting .325. Here's a pitch. And that's a 7. That's wheelhouse. A wheelhouse 37. Wheelhouse 37 against a right-handed pitcher is going to be a ball blooped into right field. Runners have to hold up, so the 1 run's going to score. Bases are still loaded with 1 out. RBI single for Lee Mazzilli. And it's Richie Hebner with the bases loaded. Infield's back for the Cubs, still early. That's going to be wheelhouse. Wheelhouse 41 against a righty, and that's going to be a base hit. Long single into the gap, and runners are going to advance 1 base. It gives me a question mark to make it 2 bases. I'm going to look at Delaunay's outfield arm, see what happens. He has a 4 arm, so he has a heck of an arm. So we're going to stop. So it's an RBI single for Richie Hebner. Bases are loaded. Only 1 out. Still the infield back for the Cubs, and that's going to be a 6. That's tough. A tough 55. tough 55, and that's going to be a ground ball to third base. Let's see if this turns into a double play. We rolled a 7. It's 8 there, and it's 6, so it's going to be a fielder's choice. They try for the double play, don't make it. Run's going to score on that. It's going to be a 5-4. Throw to first, not in time. Runner advances. Oh, I screwed up. Screw that up now. I got to do it all over again. All right, so it's going to be fielder's choice. 5-4. So one runner advances home. The other runner advances to third. Runner at second is out, force out. And the other player is safe at first. Ron Hodges, first and third, 2 outs now. Oh, here's the pitch to Hodges. That's going to be a 6. That's tough. A tough 75 to Hodges. And that's going to be a fly ball center field. Miguel Dillonay makes the catch, and that retires the side, but not before the Mets pick up 3 runs. Mets pick up 3 runs there. Let's see. Dan Norman's up next, and then it's going to be that's what I'm missing. All right, Kevin Coble on the mound for the Mets here in the bottom half of the third. Mick Kelleher. That's a 4. Patient 88. Patient 88 is a fly ball to left. Youngblood makes the catch, 1 away. Coble 3, tough, a tough 53 to the pitcher. Who's a 1. That's strike 3. 2 outs. Miguel Dillonay, he's 0 for 1. That's an in play 0-8. In play 0-8, and that's a single. So Dillonay is on with a single, and he's always a threat to steal. Going to see if we get a lead, and we do. So there goes Dillonay. And the catcher for the Mets today is Ron Hodges. Let's look and see what kind of arm Hodges has. Hodges has a 3 arm, so that's going to be just a normal. And he's going to be out. Hodges throws him out at second base. So Dillonay caught stealing. And it's going to be a 2-4. And that retires the side. Caudle against Danny Norman, who's 0 for 1. In the top of the 4th, that's a 9. That's going to be a tough 48. That's going to be strike 3. Norman strikes out. Kelvin Chapman, a tough 87. And that's a ground ball to short. Kelleher up with it. Throws him out, 2 down. And the pitcher, Coble, that's a 9. Tough, a tough 10. That's going to be strike 3. Tough 10, strike 3. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for the Mets. We go to the bottom. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. Steve Dillard. It's going to be Dillard, Buckner, and Kingman. That's a 7. That's a tough 37. That's a strike 3. So Coble strikes out Dillard. And it's Buckner. That's a 9. That's in play, and in play 17. And that's going to be a line drive base hit to right. Danny Norman plays it on a hop, gets it in quickly. And Buckner's on it first. Dave Kingman. That's an 11. That's defense. We're going to pull a card and see what it tells us. Error first base. So we're going to check on Lee Mazzilli, who's playing first base tonight. Lee Mazzilli is a 3 error, and that makes it a 36. And we rolled a 46. So that's going to be an out. See what kind of an out it is. An out to first base is going to be a line drive caught by Mazzilli. Oh. No double play. So Buckner gets back in time. And it's Mike Vail with 2 outs. That's a 10 patient, a patient 12. That's going to be ball 4. First and second, 2 outs. Tying run is at the plate. Steve Davis. That's an 8 in play 95. In play 95. And that's going to be a fly to left. Coming in is Youngblood and makes the catch, and that retires the side. Cubs lead 2, score none. At the end of 4, 3-0 Mets. Frank Tavares. That's a 7. This is the 5th inning, and Caudill can still go another one. So that's a 7. That's wheelhouse, a wheelhouse 88, and that's a ground ball to short. Kelleher throws him out, 1 down. Elliot Maddox, that's a 10. That's tough, a tough 53, and that's right outside of hit range. That's going to be a ground ball to third. Steve Davis fires to first, gets Elliot Maddox. That's Lee Mazzilli. That's a tough 66, and that's going to be a ground to second. Steve Dillard throws him out, 4-3. Tires aside, 3 up, 3 down. Go to bottom of the 5th. Coble can go 2 more. That's going to be a 7. That's a tough 86. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. Tavares throws him out. McKelleher. That's an 8 in play 38. In play 38 versus the lefty, and that is a fly ball right field. Back goes Norman to the track, makes the catch. 2 down. Bill Caudill, we're in the bottom half of the 5th, 3-0. We're going to let him go with 2 outs, 5. Ballpark. So we're going to roll a ballpark. We rolled a 92, so that's going to be in play. In play 83, that's going to be an easy out. And that's a ground ball again to Tavares up the middle. Good range. And that retires aside. We go to the top of the 6th. Richie Hebner, Joe Youngblood, and Ron Hodges, 7. Wheelhouse, 71. And that's going to be a line drive and caught by the shortstop, Mick Kelleher. Hit it on the screws, but right at Kelleher. Youngblood. That's a patient 34. And that's going to be a ball that's driven in the gap. And that's going to split the outfield. It's going to roll to the wall. Youngblood into second base. Throw not in time. Ron Hodges. That's going to be a 4. That's tough. A tough 83. And that's going to be a grounder to second base. That's going to advance Youngblood. Only if I roll a 1 on a 10-sided die does he not advance. And he does not. So it is officially like 90% that a grounder to first or second advances the runner to third. And it's going to be Danny Norman running around third, 2 outs. That's a 6. That's going to be a tough 17. And that is a strike 3. So Caudill blows it by Norman, and that retires the side. Mets lead 1, score none. At the end of 5.5, it is Mets 3, Cubs nothing. Delaunay, the top of the order, Delaunay, Dillard, and Buckner, 5. That's ballpark, 0-3 ballpark. So that's going to be wheelhouse for Delaunay. Going to roll. That's going to be a 99. That's going to be pop-up. And that's Hebner. It's going to be calling for that. 1 out. Steve Dillard. That's a 7. Tufts 13. Strike 3. Steve Dillard strikes out. 2 outs for Coble's looking really, really sharp tonight. 7. Tough 78. And that is a pop-up. And that's going to be Kelvin Chapman calling for it. Makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down. Go to top of the 7th. All right, this is going to be a fatigue card. So we're going to use a fatigue card right now for Caudill. In case if he gets into any issues, then we'll pull him. Let's look for a fatigue card that fits him. And fatigue card that fits him 4 or more, that qualifies. 0 to, oh, he has a lot of strikeouts, so it's going to be 4 or more, 6 or more. This is his fatigue card right there. All right. So it's Kelvin Chapman. That's an 11. That's going to be defense. We're going to pull a card that's a range center field. Delaunay. See what he has in center field. His range in center field is a D range. So we're looking at a 1 to 61. We rolled a 40. So it's going to be some sort of hit. To the outfield, that's going to be a ball that drops in there. Hit for Chapman. So runner on at first. We're going to get a bunt by Coble. Coble's a B bunter. They're expecting it, so I push him down to a C. Still makes it. Catcher to the second baseman. Successful sacrifice. 2-4. Runner advances. Frankie Taveras now. That's going to be a 6 in play. 43. And it's going to be an out. Say ground ball to the first baseman. Does he flip? Does he flip the ball to the pitcher on a 1 or 2? He does. He does not. That's 25%. So he takes it himself, and the runner will advance. Over to third goes Chapman. And it's Elliot Maddox. That's a 9. That's tough. A tough 70. And that's going to be a ground ball second base. Steve Dillard up with it. Now retires the side. Mets lead 1, score none. And after, what is that? 6.5. 3-0 Mets. Coble versus Kingman. That's a 9. In play, 64. That's an out. Grounded to second. Chapman throws out Kingman. Mike Vail. Vail's 1 for 1 and a walk. That's an 8. In play. In play 85. In play 85. That's a grounded to short. 6-3. And Steve Davis. 8 in play 0-4 versus a lefty. 0-4 has popped up to the left side. Taveras makes the catch. That retires the side. Lee Mazzilli. We get a new pitcher here for the Cubs. Let's take a quick peek and see what's going on here with the original game. I'll tell you what the original game score was. Original game score on this one was the Cubs win at 6-1. Mets are up 3-0, so we're doing better. Oh wait, that's not it. That is not it. Here, that's not it either. Oh well, I gotta search it. Let's quickly. All right. This is the end of the season. We're September 25th. Second game of a doubleheader. I believe the Mets won the first one. I can't remember. But the actual score of this game was 4-3. Mets win it. And who pitched for the Cubs in this one? It was a bunch of guys pitched for the Cubs in this one. Oh, Suter and Tidrow, not a bunch of guys. Suter blows a save in this one. So let me bring in Tidrow. So Dick Tidrow is going to come in. Now, I remember Tidrow as a Yankee in the late 70s. So that's where I remember him. He's going to pitch to Mazzilli. Nobody on, nobody out. Here's a pitch from Tidrow. That's a 9. That's a tough 29 against a righty. That's strike 3, Mazzilli. Down on strikes, Richie Hebner, the left-handed batter. 5 in play. That's a 98. That's going to be an easy out. Fly ball, high fly to shallow right. 2 down. Joe Youngblood. That's a 10 patient. A patient 72. And that's a fly ball to center. That's out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Dick Tidrow. Coble's still in the game here in the bottom of the 8th. 3-0 Mets. It's going to be Bruce Kim. That's a 5. That's ballpark. 23. That's going to be wheelhouse against a lefty, 91. And that's going to be a fly ball to left. Mick Kelleher next. That's a 5. That's ballpark. 0-3. That's going to be wheelhouse. And a 33 is a line drive base hit to left. Youngblood cuts it off, gets it in. So Kelleher's on at first. We can get a pinch hitter. It's going to be Kenny Henderson. Kenny Henderson's going to pinch hit for Dick Tidrow. Here's the pitch from Coble. That's a 5. That's ballpark again, 38. And that's going to be wheelhouse against a lefty, 1-46, and that ball's gone. And that's a deep drive to batting righty, deep drive to Youngblood in right field. Back goes Youngblood to the track, to the wall, makes the catch. Fly ball 7. Barely kept it in the park. And it's Miguel Delaunay. 10, Patient, 22. That's me, ball 4. And we're going to bring in, let's see, where are we? We're going to bring in Neil Allen. Neil Allen's coming in. 2 men on, 2 men out. Actually, yeah, 2 men on, 2 men out. Neil Allen. So Steve Dillard, the batter. Gonna let him bat. Here's the pitch. That's a 4, Patient. A Patient 47 against a righty, and that's going to be a sharp liner into center field. And that's going to score 1 run, and Delaunay is going to go to third, first and third, RBI single. Pinch hit, RBI single, 2-out RBI single by Steve Dillard. Delaunay advances to third. So you got first and third now. And it's going to be Bill Buckner. Here's the pitch from Neil Allen. Neil Allen was 6-10 with a 3.50 ERA in 50 games with the Mets. That's going to be a 6. That's tough. A tough 13. And that's strike 3. Oh, barely gets Bill Buckner. Doesn't have a lot of strikeout numbers. Blows it by Buckner. And they leave the tying runs on base. Big pitch by Neil Allen. And in a close game like this, we're going to bring in Suter. That's it. Bruce Suter's coming in. We're in the top of the 9th. 3-1 Mets. Gonna see Suter. There he is. He's in there. We're going to bat him 9th. All right, he's going to face Ron Hodges. Here's the pitch. That's 8. That's tough. A tough 37 against a righty, and that's strike 3. So Hodges strikes out. Dan Norman, who's 0 for 3, struck out 3 times. Going to face Suter. That's a 5. Patient 32, and that's going to be lined base hit for Norman. 1 for 4 on the day for Dan Norman. So Dan Norman's on at first. It's Kelvin Chapman. That's a 10. That's tough. A tough 94. And that's going to be a fly to shallow left. Kingman over. Makes the catch. 2 down. And it's Neil Allen. And we're going to pinch hit. And then we're going to bring in Reardon. Bring in Johnny Stearns to pinch hit. Let's see if we can find Johnny Stearns. John Stearns is a regular catcher for the Mets. Has a day off today. All right, here's the pitch to Stearns. 7, that's tough. A tough 57. And that's going to be an out. A fly to right, Mike Vail. And that retires the side. All right, bottom of the 9th. Mets are up 3-1. Mets are 3 outs away from winning another game. They're 53rd of the season. They've lost 105 games, believe it or not. Let's see if Jeff Reardon can do the job here. See if we can track him. Jeff Reardon. Holy smokes. See if the Mets can win this one. All right, so we are in the bottom of the 9th. It's going to be who? Kingman, Vail, and Steve Davis. Here's the pitch from Jeff Reardon. Reardon was 1-2 with a 1.74 ERA. Pitched in 18 games. Happened to pitch in this game. That's a 3. That's going to be ballpark. A 51 is going to be wheelhouse for Kingman. So you're looking at a 1-73 as being a home run. That's a deep drive to left field. Back goes Youngblood to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. 3-2 Cubs. Dave Kingman gets a hold of one. Brings the Cubs within 1 run here in the bottom of the 9th. Mike Vail. That's 8. That's patient. A patient 13. That's ball 4. So Vail's on at first. And we're going to bunt. We're going to bunt with Steve Davis. His bunting is a C. We don't know that he's going to bunt, but so we're not going to move it at all. And that's going to be a bunt the catcher plays. Ron Hodges fires to first, and that's going to move Vail to second base. So a successful sacrifice. 2-4. 2-6. So successful sacrifice 2-6, and the held up advanced. So the tying run now is at second base with only 1 out. We're gonna get some pinch hitters coming in for the Cubs. Some better hitters. Bring in Scott Thompson. Scott Thompson's coming in to pinch hit for Kim, who's not a very good player. All right, here's the pitch to Scott Thompson. I'll tell you, Thompson against righties batted 290. Here's the pitch. That's an 8. That's patient, a patient 44. And against a righty, and that's going to be a line drive base hit. And Mike Vail is being waved around to throw home, and he is safe. RBI single, pinch hit RBI single to tie the game in the 9th by Scott. And Scott, he's not a threat to steal. So the Cubs have tied the game with 2 runs in the 9th inning, a home run by Kong, and now the RBI single by Scott Thompson, who pinch hit for, I think he pinch hit for what? Bruce Kim. Mick Kelleher. That's an 11. That's a tough 92. Tough 92, and that's going to be a flat at left. Shallow left. Youngblood in. Makes the catch. And now it's the pitcher. So we're going to have a pinch hitter again. It's going to be Tim Blackwell. It's going to be the new catcher. Tim Blackwell is going to pinch hit and then stay in to catch. There he is. Timmy Blackwell. Used as defensive stuff, not as a pitcher, but he will be used defensively. All right, so here's the pitch from Jeff Reardon. That's a 6. That's tough. A tough 60. And that's going to be an easy out. Ground ball, second base. Kelvin Chapman up with it. Throws out Blackwell, and that retires the side. All right, so we need a new pitcher. And we're going to have to move that over a bit. We're going to have to go to the next game and see who are the other pitchers that the Cubs have. Let's see. George Riley is going to come in. Riley and Geisel. I'm going to bring in Riley. George Riley's a left-hander. All right. Riley's going to pitch to Taveras, Maddox, and Mazzilli. New catcher is going to be Blackwell. And Blackwell will be batting 9th. Offense, he will be batting 9th. And he's there, so it works. All right. And 7th spot is going to be the pitcher. New pitcher is going to be Riley. So we can track down Riley. I'm going to have to write him in. Don't have him in there. Add sub. His name is George Riley. He's a left-hander. And George Riley will be batting. He'll be batting seventh. All right, so Frankie Tavares against Riley. That's a 4. That's patient. A patient 20, and that's going to be a ball 4. So Tavares walks. And let's look quickly at Blackwell. Blackwell's throwing arm is a 4, so we're going to try to get Tavares a lead, and he does not get a lead. And it's Elliot Maddox, a 7, a tough 79. Tough 79 versus a lefty. And that's going to be a fly ball to center. Miguel Delaunay there. And he makes the catch, 1 away. Lee Mazzilli next. Pitch from Riley. That's a 5. That's in play. A 70. In play 70. That's another out. It's going to be a ground ball second base. Let's see if this can be. If this will be a double play. It will not. It's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to be a 4-6. So Mazzilli's going to try to get that lead. 4-6. Oh, 4-6. Fielder's choice. And try to get a lead. We need a 5 or less. We roll a 7, so Mazzilli doesn't get the lead. And it's Richie Hebner. That's an 11. That's wheelhouse. He's 74 wheelhouse. And that's going to be an out. It'll be a fly ball center field. Miguel Delaunay back to the track, makes the catch. That retires his side. Go to the bottom of the 10th. Reardon is out of there. No, Reardon is still in there. Reardon is still in there. All right. Let him go another inning. It's going to be Delaunay. And that's a 7. That's an in play 27. And that's going to be an out. A line and caught by Tavares. Timed his jump perfectly. 1 away. Steve Dillard. Tough pitch, 18. Strike 3. Dillard strikes out. And Bill Buckner. Buckner's 1 for 4. 10. That's a tough pitch, 77. And that is a fly ball center field. Back goes Maddox on the track, makes the catch, retires the side. So Buckner gave it a ride, but Elliot Maddox was there. George Riley on the mound for the Cubs. And it's Joel Youngblood, 3, defense. Pull a card. Set error, second base. Let's see what Dillard is. Error, second base. Dillard is a 5 error, which is very good. So we rolled a 0-8, but not good enough. And that's going to be an E4. Let's see what kind of an E4 that is. And that's going to be a 1-base error. So Youngblood reaches on the error. We're going to try to get a lead for Youngblood. And we don't. So it's Ron Hodges. That's a 5. A 5 is in play 49. In play 49. That's going to be an out, kind of an out. It's going to be a ground ball, third base. It may be a double play. See what happens. It's a 6, but it won't be a double play. It's a 5-4 fielder's choice. No throw to first. Youngblood goes in hard and breaks it up. In the days when you could do that, Stan Norman with a runner on first and 1 out. That's a 9. That's patient. A patient 24 for Danny Norman. And that's going to be ball 4. So go ahead and run as at second base now. First and second, only 1 out. Kelvin Chapman. That's going to be a 3. That's defense. And it's going to be an error second base again. And we rolled a 10. And that's going to be a second error for Dillard. A second error for Dillard. This one's going to be a ball that gets under his glove. And gets under his glove, but Dillard seems to have slowed it down, gets to the ball, and throws it over, pulling Buckner off the bag. So this is going to be a single to load the bases, and the throw pulling Buckner off the bag is going to allow the run to score. So we got a single, right? Advances, and then we're going to have a runner in third is going to advance home on an error by the second baseman. And everybody else advances as well. That's crazy. All right, so we're going to have another pinch hitter for the Mets. One out, runners on first and second. No, it's going to be, wait a second. Everybody else, hold on a second. I got to undo that. That's all right. We have going to have a pinch hitter. Going to have a pinch hitter. No pinch hitter. Wait a second. It's Chapman. Chapman's batting. Hold on a second. All right, undo. Chapman's batting. He's going to single. So Chapman singles. Bases are loaded. Right? And on the same play, Dillard is going to make an error. That's going to allow the runner on third to score. So on an error by the second baseman. Now what happens to the runner on second? He goes to third. Same error. And the runner on first goes to second on the same error. So it's going to be second and third now. And it's going to be a pinch hitter. It's going to be Eddie Crane. Oh, no. We need a righty. It's going to be Doug Flynn. Doug Flynn's going to come in to pinch hit. Flynn, the regular second baseman, given a day of rest. And it's going to be all for Riley. Let's see who else we have there. Doug Capilla. I'm bringing Doug Capilla. Oh, he's another lefty. All I have is lefties. So, well, I have Donnie Moore, but I don't know that they're using Donnie Moore. Let me see. Oh, no, Donnie Moore actually starts tomorrow night's game. So I'm going to have to bring in Doug Capilla. Let's bring in a fresh pitcher here. There we go. So Doug Capilla is going to come in. He's going to face Flynn and then Taveras. It's 4-3 in the top of the 11th. And Doug Flynn, the pinch hitter. Here's the pitch. That's 5. Defense. Again, defense. Holy smokes. See if it's to the second baseman again. No, this time it's going to be potential error right field. Let's see what Vail is. Vail in right field is a 1 error. So that's the worst possible error rating you can have, and that is going to be an error. And it's going to be a 2-base error. So that's going to allow 2 runs to score. So Mike Vail misplays the ball, hits off his glove, rolls away from him. Norman scores. Chapman scores. So this is a complete defensive breakdown by the Cubs in this inning, the top of the 11th inning. Who's there? Mouse in your house. What game number am I? There's 5 games left after this game. So if I can't remember if they played 162. So potentially I'm in game 156. Their record is what I say was 52 and 105. Right? 52 and 105, not counting this game. So I guess that's game whatever it is. I'm not sure. 52 and 155. This would be game 157. So I guess that's the answer to your question. And they're winning right now by a score of, wait a second. So I got the 2-base error by Flynn on this. All right, 2-base error by Vail, in right field. Big error, big 2-base error by Vail. 2 runs are going to score. And going to second base on the same error as Flynn. So it's Frankie Taveras. Now it's 6-3 Mets here in the top of the 11th inning. That's a 5. It's a 5 defense. Again, a defensive. This is the 4th defensive card. Holy smokes. All in this inning. There's no errors in the whole game except in this inning. Rain. This time it's going to be a range call to first baseman Buckner. And I can tell you from the top of my head, This is 1979. Does Buckner have a good range card? I don't think so. I don't think he ever had a good range card. His range is a C, so he's like kind of average. 1 to 50 is a hit. We roll a 29, so that's going to be a ball that gets that Buckner just doesn't reach, and that's going to be a ball that goes under his glove into the right field corner. That's going to be a double for Frank Taveras, and that's going to score Flynn. So another run for the Mets. Holy smokes. 3 errors for the Cubs in this inning, and it's Elliot Maddox 5. Defense again. Holy smokes. Error second base. Can Dillard get his 3rd error? Let's see. Dillard, no, because Dillard has a really good defensive card. He didn't commit many errors. So he's actually the best you can possibly be. Yeah, he's a 5 error, which makes for Wrigley a 5 error means 1 to 16. We rolled a 30 this time, but a 30 means there's a wild pitch. So that's going to move. The wild pitch is going to move to Taveras the 3rd. So there's no error rating there. So that's going to be a wild pitch. And Maddox is still at bat. Here's the pitch again. 38. It's a 5. Defense. Oh my goodness. He has 1 defensive result on his card. That's at a 5. So here we go again. That's an error right field, Mike Vail. And we know Mike Vail is horrible. And that's going to be an error on Vail again, a 2nd error on Vail. So it's going to be 2 errors on Vail, 2 errors on Dillard. And this is going to score another run. So 1 base error this time. 4 errors in this inning by the Cubs. 2 by Mike Vail in right and 2 by Steve Dillard at second base. And now it's 8 to 3 Mets. And that's a 5 defense again. This time it's error first base, Bill Buckner. Let's see how many times I can roll a 5. Wait a second. I'm double checking my dice. Whoa. Let's see if this is going to be an error on Buckner. Buckner has a 4 error. So that's, again, pretty good. We roll a 0-9. That is going to be an error on Buckner, the 5th error in this inning by the Cubs. And that's going to be a 1 base error. So runners on first and second, error 3. That's the 5th error of the inning. And it's going to be Richie Hebner. Runners on first and second. Still only 1 out. And that's a 5. No, I'm kidding. That's a 7. That's a 7. And that's going to be a tough 28. Tough 28 against a lefty. That's going to be strike 3. Hebner strikes out. Capilla shows him the curve. And it's 2 outs now. Youngblood. 5 again. Defense. And this is going to be range shortstop. Mick Kelleher. Range shortstop. Let's see what Kelleher's range is. Kelleher's range is short is a D range. So that means 1 to 61. And that's going to be a 39. And that's going to be a base hit under Kelleher's glove. Just does not get the jump. And a single under Kelleher's glove is going to be 1 base advancement. So the bases are going to be loaded on the single by Youngblood. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 8 to 3 Mets. They've scored 5 runs on 5 errors here in the top of the 11th. 11, that's Patient. A Patient 69 off Hodges. 69 off Hodges, and that's going to be a line drive, and it's caught by Kelleher, and that's going to retire the side. Holy smokes. Wow, I've never seen that happen. First time in 157 games that I've played that I've had 5 errors in 1 inning. And we're going to bring in a new pitcher for the Mets. It's going to be Andy Hassler. Andy Hassler's another one who pitched in this game. I remember him as a Kansas City Royal. So right now we're going to the bottom of the 11th, 8 to 3 Mets. The Mets scored 5 runs in the top of the 11th on 5 errors. 2 by Mike Vail, 2 by Steve Dillard, and 1 by Bill Buckner. It's going to be Kahn, Kingman, Vale, and Davis. 7, tough, a tough 54 against a lefty, and that's going to be strike 3, Kingman. Down swinging, Mike Vale. 5, ballpark. 0, 0 is, I'm going to roll that again. I'm not doing that right now. 32. So that's going to be 32 against a lefty, and that ball is deep drive, left field, back goes Youngblood to the track. That's out of here. 8-4. Mike Vale gets a hold of one. Steve Davis against Andy Hassel. That's a 4 patient, a patient 99. And that's going to be a fly ball, deep left field. Back goes Youngblood to the track, makes the catch. And it's pitcher. I'm going to get a pinch hitter for the pitcher. It's going to be Larry Bittner. Larry Bittner, usually the first baseman. Oh. All right, here's the pitch to Bittner. And they had 2 outs. Mets are 1 out away from winning their 53rd game of the year. That's an 11. That's tough, a tough 84. And that's going to be the ball game, folks. And that's lined and caught by the second baseman, Chapman. And that's all she wrote. Mets win it. What a crazy game that was. What a crazy game that was. So we're going to exit out, and I'll read you the line score. So the win is going to go to Jeff Reardon. Pitched 2 innings. The loss is going to go to, I believe, Riley. Unfortunately, Riley gets the loss. Not that he deserved it. I mean, the Cubs defense just collapsed in that 11th inning. So that's it. I'm going to have to email me this myself, this box score, because that was crazy. Got to do the report in a couple of forums. Crazy, crazy game. And I'll read you the line score. All right, for the Mets, they win this one by a score of 8-4. Mets had 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors, 10 left on base, while the Cubs had 4 runs, 8 hits, 5 errors in the top of the 11th inning, and 6 left on base. And that's all she wrote. This is CP Cards and Dice saying, I hope you enjoyed the stream of a Cubs-Mets game back in 1979. Take care.